All right, I'm rolling. I'm gonna try to be a lot quicker. I made this video. I think some of y'all have already watched it, but I'm gonna redo it. I pulled the other video because the volume was too low, and I don't know. I had to plug my USB mixer into a different USB port, and then sound came back. So, you know, that's the thing with electronics, and you just never know. So, with that being said, let me turn this volume down just a little bit. Okay, with that being said, I just want to make my quick thoughts. I made a video, like I said, talked about it earlier, about the Behringer 369 and the Behringer 1273. In actuality, I think, like I said, when it comes to clone companies, I've already gave my thoughts on clone. I made a video talking about thank God for clone companies, because irregardless of people that they may or may not like clone companies, or they might not like certain brands or whatever, the point is that these clones afford people the opportunity to buy gear that they would not be able to afford on the they would not be able to afford. I'm looking at let me see. Oh, there we go. Let me turn the volume. There we go. Okay. That would not be able to, in other words, afford the actual real units. And I'm talking about Universal Audio's 1176, the LA2A, API 312, API 312 preamps, the SSL bus compressor, the Neve 33609, Manly Passive, the Pool Tech EQs, the 670 Fairchild, and just goes on and on. Because we're talking about outboard gear of those magnitude. We're talking $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9,000 a unit. Just depends. Some units, whether it's it could be channel limited, tube tech, drummers. I mean, I can go on and on with all the number one go-to staple, big end compressors and preamps and EQs, GML EQs, and so forth. So I'm making this video because I'm reacting to a video I saw about the Behringer 369, and they came out with a 1273. In actuality, what are those units, in my opinion? It's just more clones. Some people, there are just diehard people out there that just rather have the high-end units. And whatever the case, whatever, it is what it is. You're just gonna be some people you're just not gonna be able to convince that, in their mind, they've made up their mind, this is the gear I want to use and all that. But then there are so many people out there that are just extremely biased, and it is what it is. So, in my opinion, with Behringer making this 369 and 1273, in my opinion, I mean, there's gonna be people that just don't like Behringer gear. I don't care, as long as Behringer put their name on it, they're not gonna like it, which is a shame. Because let's say Behringer buys the Neve 1073 preamp, but instead of having Neve on it, they put Behringer on it. Simply because Behringer put their name on it, they're not gonna like it, even though it could be still the same Neve unit. I'm like, I don't really care about names of gear, because it starts to become gear snobbery. So all I care about is, does the unit work? Can I use it? Can I make good music using it? Can I make, whatever the case? That's all I care about. I don't care what the name is. But there is people out there that is die hard. You have to have whatever it is. So to sum it up, with the Behringer, I'm glad. That's all it is. I'm just glad. The 369, because I've heard the demo, I'm looking forward to getting it for a bus compressor, a master bus compressor. And because they're $499, which makes it very, very affordable, along with I don't really plan on getting the preamps, but you never know. Who knows? I might pull the trigger on the preamps too. But even the preamps, which is $699 the last time I checked, is actually a really good deal for what you're getting. So now, with that being said, that's going to be my reaction. I'm not going to do. There are already videos being made on this gear and being talked about this gear. So all you have to do is YouTube the Behringer 1273 and YouTube search the Behringer 369 and watch. That's more than enough. I don't have to be. There are a lot of people that will make. There's probably 100 review videos when gear comes out. 100, 2, 3, 4,000 people start making review videos on it. And then there are people out there that will give their opinions on the gear. And sometimes the gear, sometimes it's like, I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes when people make these gear and they start criticizing the gear, it's like, at the same time, there are a lot of people that if you make a clone of a real piece of gear, they're always going to say, well, if it's so much cheaper, then it's also been compromised in quality. Once again, it's kind of like, okay, I buy this Behringer 369 and I like it. Let's say it breaks. Can I be mad at it because it broke? Let's see, an actual need 3369 probably be about three grand, right? Then there's gonna be people out there that just say, why don't you just use the plug-in? Right? And I got my pros and cons on plugins. Well, it's kind of like, well, if it did break, how much did I pay for it? Well, I only paid $499. I can't be too mad, right? Because I didn't pay $3 grand. Now I would be mad having a $3,000 unit break over a $500 unit breaking, even though I don't want any of them to break. So that's what, not just Behringer, that's what any, it's kind of like what if you bought Warm Audio and their stuff breaks. Can I really be that mad because I didn't buy, let's say the Need 33609, or I didn't buy, let's say a Universal Audio 1176. Can I really be mad at my Lindell Audio 76s if they break? You can be. You'll be, man, I'm mad this thing's broke. But also at the same time, can I really be mad based on what I paid for it? Not really. Yeah, of course, anytime you buy anything, I don't care if you spent $20 on it, you can kind of be mad because anything that you buy, you expect it to work. It's kind of like this. I thought I bought this thing I think I bought it off of Temu. It was supposed to be some sort of device that you can, all that. This thing never worked. Can I really be mad at it because I only paid, I think, $14 for it? It was supposed to be like you can plug your microphone on it, hit the buttons and, all this stuff, and you're supposed to be able to plug it up but I don't pay $14 for it. So I'm not mad. Now, had that been $700, I would be mad if it didn't work. It's like me buying a Universal Audio 1176 and spent $2,800 or $3,000 or whatever, $2,800 on it or whatever, and I buy it and it don't work or it breaks, yeah, I'm gonna be a lot more upset because I spent $3,000 on that unit. That's kind of how I am when it comes to clone gear. Now, when it comes to clone gear, can I buy a piece of clone gear and it works great? Let's say like my Clark Technic 1176 clones. The Clark Technic 76s I got. $299 was what they cost. And they're still working. They work great. I'm gonna pay $299. So in the end, I'm actually very happy because I'm getting really great results with them, and I didn't spend $3,000 on a Universal Audio 1176 when I'm getting great results with the Clark Technic. Even though there are going to be people out there that are going to be, they're always the gear snobs that there's no way where your Clark Technic sounds as good as a Universal. There's always people like that. So that sums up the video. My reaction to Behringer introducing their 369 and their 1273 preamp. I say go for it. And if you're in the market for some gear and you're looking to get some, and it's kind of like, should I get a Neve 1073 for $3,000 or should I get the Behringer 1273 for $699? It's kind of like, well, so I don't want to just drop $700 and it don't work. I have no doubt that when you buy it, it's going to work. It's probably going to work well. But at the same time, if you really must undoubtedly have a piece of hardware and you just if you really, really want to have a peace of mind about the piece of gear and you kind of up in the air, should I get the Neve or should I get a Heritage Audio or Warm Audio or any other clone? And you're like, well, I'm kind of, then just save up and get a Neve. That's how I look at it. You're going to, if you're on a tight budget, you're going to be saving for a while. Because $3,000 is not an easy amount of money to just dish out. Most people don't have $3,000 to just dish out. Now, if you are in the market, especially for a lot of people that are on budgets, they're on a budget and they want some good sounding gear without spending a whole lot of money, and they're thinking about, should I get the Neve? Should I get the Behringers? Then I'm going to say yes. Try it and see how do you like it. You can always sell it if you don't like it. I just don't see that. If you know what you're doing with gear, I don't see why you would not like it. But there are going to be people out there that just not going to like it. That's just the way it is. But there are people that don't even like API or Neve or an SSL or Audient. And I can just go on with the big names. There are people out there, and I like this. Al Schmidt, when he was alive, did not like SSL consoles. He liked the Neve. Then there are people out there that obviously thousands of people have been using SSL consoles. So it's more of just personal taste. That's going to do it. Like I said, on the Behringer 369 and 1273, they're affordable. If you're in the market for some gear, why not? Don't let people out there that don't like Behringer stop you from buying it. I have plenty of Behringer gear and have Behringer gear and it works with no problems. And so I don't pay Behringer haters any attention. I just don't. So that's going to do it for the video. Y'all have a great one. And I'm remaking this video because, like I said, the other video, the volume was bad. All right, y'all have a good one.